Hello there, Ramblomatic here. Welcome back to another episode or another podcast. This time I don't have a list. I just kind of felt like talking. I have no list to follow, no guideline or anything like that to go by. So I just kind of wanted to see how I could do without any kind of topics to talk about. Just a general talking topic. This might replace an episode tonight. This might be the only thing I release. This might be uploaded as well as an episode. I would like to increase the amount of videos I have on my channel, so hopefully you guys are enjoying my content. I'm really proud of the editing I did, even though it was fairly minimal. The editing I did of Fallout. I kind of spread my workload around everything. So, like the editing, I wanted to make sure that the sound sounded really good, so my voice was really good. I wanted to make sure that at least best I can get it. I wanted to get the mix right. I wanted to slip in just enough editing, although it was a little bit lacking in that category. I'm really proud of the editing I did, but that was one of the things that kind of fell by the wayside there. And as you could tell, if you take a look at the thumbnail, for a relatively beginner level Photoshop person working with Photoshop, I'm really proud of what I managed to accomplish with that thumbnail. It's not like the world's greatest thumbnail. It's kind of cool, and it goes with the name of the episode, and it all makes sense once you get to the point that it's applicable in the episode. So I just wanted to spend this time right now to thank you guys very much for watching my videos on the channel and for sticking around. For those of you who have stuck around, I noticed some of the individuals who have been here since very early have started becoming a little bit more. I've started seeing them again. I knew they were there. I felt like they were there, I should say. I'm not going to say like, oh my god, I know they're my most dedicated fans. No, I'm not going to say that kind of thing. But I just want to thank you guys for being around here, and hopefully you'll stick around with me for the long term. Okay, so I had one pause there. That's one check against my my score there. So I did think of something. Pause number 2, because I had to think of what that thing was. There are a lot of projects I really want to do. I'm excited for. I have a lot of ideas that are going to be coming into future videos. I've got little scripts written for this kind of stuff, and I've got little plans, and as well as playing the games that you guys have requested. The only problem is I haven't really had any time to record any new games. I managed to slip in one. I gotta stop saying too. That's one of my goals. We'll get back to that in a second. But I managed to slip in one recording of a new game. No, there it goes again. But I'm hoping, I'm just all over the place with that. Alright, that's pause number 3, because I'm trying to work out. I don't think I'm going to actually release this podcast. If you're actually hearing this, I don't know why I decided to release this. It feels like a practice podcast. So one thing I want to do with Rambit Overload, like I was saying earlier, in an earlier podcast, which I want to talk about in a second here. I want Rambit Overload to be kind of like, because the main channel just feels like it's going to be involved with gameplay or any bigger video ideas I have. I was thinking about doing like mini vlogs or updates or little things. I know I talk a lot about what I want Rambit Overload to be, but it's because I'm really tossing around what I really wanted it to be. At first it was just to offload series as you guys may have heard. It was just to offload series that you may not be able to finish on the main channel. But then I figured, not only are people not really watching those episodes anymore, but to get them to go over to a different channel to watch a series that they may not even be interested in. Like, I don't even know, it doesn't even tell you if people get 100% through an episode. Like, if you get 2 views on a video, it doesn't tell you that one person watched it 100% through and one person watched it 10% through. You know, it just kind of says like a general amount of the two, and you don't know if both of those people watched 5 minutes. So I don't really want to spend the time, especially since I have such constricted time. I don't really want to spend the time editing an episode that I don't think anyone's going to watch. I guess it could be there for records, and I just feel like my time is going to be much better spent if I use that as a vent for smaller, more obscure content to my channel. I'm just kind of hoping that I'll be able to use it, even if it's just for my own personal purposes, which is not personal in the sense that like, oh, I'm never going to show anybody the videos I post up there. I'm definitely going to show the videos I post up there, but I want to make it so at least I can have those episodes up, or at least I know that I was able to put that footage to use, because I have a lot of stuff on my computer right now. Like it's not getting like terribly full on memory, but it's getting pretty full. So I really want to try to clear off the recordings I already have, just to make some more space, and offloading them onto that secondary channel where they are there for people to watch, and I know that they're out there and being used, would be really valuable to me. So I want to talk a little bit about the last podcast I made. I really liked the format I did, but oh my god, the audio was so bad. It's just another Ramblomatic podcast, just like this. But unfortunately, if you weren't able to tell, I was warming up my car because it was really cold, and I had the fan on like full blast. I contemplated sitting in the back seat, but I honestly don't know if that would have helped, because the fan was so loud. I did so much work to quiet that down in editing, and I felt like writing that I did so much work to reduce the fan sound, and I boosted the vocals, and I tried noise reducers, and which actually worked fairly well, and I did like that one thing that Premiere Pro has where you can like silence the instruments, and that seemed to have worked somehow, and I changed the frequency of the vocals, and man, like, you should have heard the before and after. It might not be like a crazy drastic difference to someone who doesn't really know sound editing, which I don't blame you for. Friggin' I barely even know it now. But to me, I'm starting to become a little bit of an audiophile, in which I want my episodes to sound the best possible. I'm starting to tackle, I think I've mostly tackled, hopefully I've completely tackled, the issue of my episodes being like blurry and fuzzy, and the technical issues just ran amok. Honestly, there's a lot of things I look back at different episodes, I have no idea why the stuff that went wrong. It was just some kind of compatibility. As a matter of fact, I don't know what did it to the Fallout Shelter episode that I released there. But if you look at the outro, I think it's the thanks for watching, and the YouTube or my Facebook, the link to the Facebook channel I have, it's kind of like clipping through each other, like the R logo. My R logo is kind of covering up the words a little bit, so that's a little bit frustrating. Especially when I do so much editing and so much. I almost do like a quality check every single time. So I watch my episodes through. I try to see if everything's in line. I try to see if the edits went through. Sometimes, here's an irritating thing. When I'm recording, the game audio becomes desynced over time with the gameplay video. So it's almost like the video starts running slower, or the audio starts running slower, and the opposite keeps going at the same speed. So like I noticed eventually at one point I swing like my axe in arc or something like that, and I notice that the sound is off, and I have to go back and cut clips and reposition the audio to a degree where it at least sounds like it's on point, because there is a lot of syncing audio and a lot of because I record everything differently, right? I record my vocal track different from my game audio track, which records differently from my video track, and then the music I put in the episode is a different track, and then I'm starting to try and work a way towards a reasonable solution. Sorry, dropped the phone there. A reasonable solution for face cam, which at the current point right now is using my old Nikon D9 or Canon D90. I think it's a Nikon D90 actually. I can't remember. Nikon or Canon. I get confused because one of my buddy's friends has the same camera, and he has a Nikon and or a Canon, and I also have a Nikon and or a Canon. So I just kind of get the two mixed up, I guess. So hopefully I'm able to get that up and running, and then as you can see, it really starts to pile up, just all of the different editing things that have to go together, and you have to make sure that they're all repositioned whenever I do an edit, or like, what do I want quiet at what point. It's very common editing stuff, and I am editing at a very basic level, in my opinion. I guess I kind of have to hold myself to a really high standard if I want to make my editing good. Early on, I kind of did like goofy edits, just because it was really fun. I'm experimenting with new features, and just to kind of challenge myself. I didn't really know what I was doing. You discover a new feature and you think of something funny to do, like the Counter-Strike collab I do with Yoram. I do a couple of those, and I really enjoyed that. And Hobo episode 1 I didn't edit like that. So I really want to keep doing that kind of stuff, but recently my time has been compressed. Like the time I've said I don't have, I have even less of now. But I'm gonna start trying to maybe trim down, unfortunately, on the amount of work that goes into everything. It sounds really bad when I say it that way. I don't mean it that way. But it's just too many times where it's like 3 or 4 in the morning and I have to press the upload button, and the upload button doesn't work. Oh, now why doesn't the upload button work? And I rewatch the audio back, and all of this is desynced. Then I look back at the upload, like, because I press export from Premiere Pro, and I go brush my teeth or do whatever just to get ready for bed, and I come back and that's canceled out. So why is that not happening? Like, I have to check the compatibility and such, or I gotta, like, there's different formats of videos that don't work with each other, so you have to find out how to convert it properly. You have to get the program. I'm really rambling. I guess that's why I'm called Rambit, but God, beating that old horse again. But either way, this podcast is coming to a close. I don't really think at the current moment, I'm really impressed with what I was actually able to do just today, like right now, like this podcast. I have no list, I have nothing. I just kind of went off the cuff. So hopefully this will be really good practice as to what to do in future podcasts, like how to make it last longer than 10 minutes, because that was my goal to reach. As a matter of fact, talking about it is kind of making me like, I gotta talk for 10 minutes, but look, I'm looking at the watch right now and it says 12. I did have to pause it, so I paused for about a minute earlier, but I'm gonna finish it off by talking about something different, maybe trying to increase the variety in my conversation, my podcast, to open up my mind to different possibilities of things to talk about. So I'm just kind of rambling by myself, which is really hard. It's just kind of me trying to inform you about general information. But let me think. Let me say, this is just going to be a challenge for me. What company do I like better? Do I like Nissan? Do I like Subaru? Let's go all Japanese. Let's go Nissan, Subaru, or Mitsubishi. I do like the Nissans that have been coming out recently. I'll make this quick. I do like the Nissans that's been coming out recently. I've always been a huge fan of Subaru, though. The WRX, because of rally and all that stuff, and I love the spoilers they put on them, which is starting to be a fading feature now, because I know they don't want to be associated with rallying anymore, but there will always be people that'll stick the spoilers on. Anyways, hopefully it doesn't all turn into car chat, but I feel like I have to really talk about my interests when I'm practicing talking in podcasts and various things like that, just to keep me interested in the topic, because I want to work towards different varieties in topics. If I bring anyone else onto my podcasts, I have to be able to talk about a large variety of things, right? And I'm fairly good at talking. Trust me, I'm not that bad at talking. But when it comes to recording myself and trying to come up with different topics, I really have to increase my the variety of topics I can talk about. So look at this, I've actually managed to go for 14 minutes now, or I guess a little bit less than that, because I let it run out for a little bit. But anyways, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I've been Ramblomatic, and I will see you guys in the next episode, or the next video, or the next podcast, or the next whatever the heck it happens to be. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if you see more of these this week, because I wasn't able to get any recording done, but I'm going to see if people are interested in me banging out old episodes, just to at least get some kind of content out there, because I don't want to, oh god, why does the word content just sound so wrong? But yeah, so I want to bang out some old episodes, or maybe keep some My Summer Car going. The popularity of My Summer Car is slowly dropping off, which I'm not necessarily surprised about. When the update came out, they kind of managed to boost. I kind of managed to get a couple more views on my first video, but not episode 14, which is labeled My Summer Car Update. So I have to find a new way to do that. Maybe like make a new series for different uploads. Like, this is pretty much a new series anyways, right? with that, I completely forgot what I was going to talk about, and I don't need to anyways because we're 50 minutes and 30 seconds into my recording. So I'll pump this out tonight, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you guys thank you guys again very much for watching, and I will see you in the next whatever. Bye bye.